Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? My bad about that. It's your boy AB. Already know we chilling in the crib in the main office. We about to watch some good fights right now. We got Munguia, Sullivan. We got Joe Smith, Jesse Hart. But you know what I mean? I just want to break some news right now. Um, it seems like May 2nd on the zone, most likely at Las Vegas. If most likely, you know what I mean? The biggest, one of the most important days of the boxing season. Why not do it in Vegas? Canelo's supposed to fight Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders, last fight he made his debut in the U.S. in America, and it was lackluster. Besides him getting the late TKO at the end of the night, mind you, Billy Joe Saunders got a whole new exposure by not only fighting in America, but he fought in probably 75% of a new audience backed up from a KSI Logan Paul fan base. Um, I think, I think overall Billy Joe Saunders is a very credible opponent. I do agree with Teddy Atlas. He mentioned how, he got this fight due to connection. There's nothing really special about Billy Joe Saunders, as he mentioned, but there's nothing really much wrong he does as a fighter, Billy Joe Saunders, which I totally do agree with. Teddy Atlas, he's a great fighter. He's a great name. He was definitely in my top five at middleweight when he was at 160. I think at 168, if I was to name a list right now, Callum Smith. You got who else we got in that division? Caleb Plant, David Benavidez. There's a lot of good fighters in that. I could possibly put Billy Joe, put Jacobs. John Ryder really impressed me too. So there's a lot of, like I said, Saunders still relatively new at 168. Same goes to Canelo. He is relatively new. At 168, he fought what's his name, Rocky Fielding. This was in December of 2018 at New York. Personally, I think this is the best fight that realistically we could have hoped for. Triple G has a mandatory March, fighting in Chicago. You got Callum Smith. I mean, I wasn't really impressed in his last fight. I thought John Ryder beat him, but we could debate that for another day. Canelo, like I said, Demetrius Andre is fighting January 30th this month, Miami. Even if Andre would have had a spectacular performance, I just didn't see Canelo wanting to fight him. Yeah, man, he's ducking Andre. I don't want to hear it. Listen, I'm saying it right now. He is ducking Andre, but I will tell you this: if we look at Canelo's last, let's see, three opponents, right? We look at Sergey Kovalev. When he beat Alvarez the second time in the rematch, he didn't look all that good. And he still got the win, but he didn't look all that good, right? Jacobs, as much as I love him, shout out to my man, Danny Jacobs. I love you, bro. Thank you for all the advice you gave me in life. Jacobs hasn't been the same since Triple G fight. Then he took the Derbychenko fight, and then, I don't think he's ever been the same. And now that he's moved up to 68, for Chavez, whatnot, like he's doing his own thing, right? Rocking Fielding, he was, all due respect to that brother, but he was never really gonna give a competitive fight to Canelo Alvarez. That's what makes sense, right? And and if you look at Canelo's, if you look at it, if you start looking at a pattern, Canelo has already determined fights when a fighter, like an elite fighter, doesn't look at his very best based on his last fight. And Saunders did not look like the best version of Saunders that we've seen maybe 2-3 fights ago. You know what I mean? And Saunders also coming of a long break. He hasn't fought since when he was scheduled to fight Demetrius Andre. It got postponed. He got caught with, I'm not even remember the name of it. I don't even want to think about it right now. But he got caught with something. UCOD, VADA. He got, he hasn't fought then. And then since then, he fought at a catchweight, I believe, like a 175 catchweight. Then he came to middleweight. He won the WBO title after Zurdo Ramirez vacated the WBO title. So, I think Canelo's catching him in a good time. Saunders probably is not the best best version of himself right now. And even Saunders' demeanor and he hasn't been the same. He's usually being very vocal. He did say a lot of accusations about Canelo, so that's really interesting in that aspect to how they're going to build up this fight because you got Canelo got called Clombiro back leading up to the second fight with Triple G, the rematch. Saunders got popped when he was going to fight Demetrius Andre, so I just want to see what filters and what they're going to do. Like I said, I am disappointed in the fact that Canelo's not fighting Demetrius Andre. I'm going to put it out there. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of Demetrius Andre. Um, I'm a big fan of Demetrius Andre. I respect him. I think that due to people not fighting him, I think people tend to criticize Demetrius Andre. But, yeah, I mean, Boo-Boo's got to do what he's got to do, and, he's got to fight the best available name out there, that's willing to fight him, But, yeah, like I said, but I can say this. What I could say about Billy Joe Saunders is that we seen glimpse of him. We seen him at his very best, elite. Like you can't deny Billy Joe. Like he's really good. He's a southpaw. He's a slickster. He's very elusive. When he fought Lemieux, man, he gave that man he didn't even knock him out. He gave him a boxing lesson. Billy Joe Saunders that night is like him writing the fundamentals of boxing 401. That's what he did that night. And after Saunders, we see from that night, he's going to give Canelo nightmares. Now, I think Canelo is fighting Saunders to eventually fight Demetrius Andre. He's going to prepare for him. He's going to prepare himself. Because you look at it, think about it like this. He's fighting Saunders, a southpaw, very slick, very elusive. He has great techniques. Who else is related to that? Demetrius Andre. Not going to say that him and Andre are 100% same stylistically, but they do share some similar skills. Now, if we look back in time, in retrospect, Canelo, when he fought, what's his name? When was the last southpaw? 2014, July, when he fought Arislandi Lara. I thought he lost. That's, like I said, it was such a close fight. But during that time, Canelo wasn't the Canelo we see today. Lara was the best Lara of his version at that time. And that fight showed me that when Canelo fights a southpaw that moves and sticks and it's very elusive and knows how to use his distance and doesn't let Canelo have his rhythm, then Canelo struggles. No, yeah, you're right. You're right, Carlos. I don't deny that, but let me just finish this point. Canelo since then hasn't fought a legit full-time southpaw since Arislandi Lara, 2014. The last some glimpse of a southpaw he fought was Danny Jacobs when Danny Jacobs switched. But I think that as Danny Jacobs was successful against Canelo that night, southpaw, his biggest flaw was he wasn't able to capitalize that on the defensive standpoint. Offensively, I think he was able to connect his best shots in a southpaw position against Canelo. But I think this is a great test. Canelo is the best Canelo. I think he's in his prime. He's at his peak. I really want to see what he does against Billy Joe Saunders, because if Canelo wins by a decision and if it goes the distance and it's a very close fight, you can forget about Canelo versus Demetrius Andre after that fight. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Yeah. So that's gonna be it's gonna be cool, I think Canelo should dominantly beat Saunders because I think Saunders' inactivity and all the distractions happen to Saunders. I think he should beat him. I think Canelo has all the momentum riding with him. I just don't see Canelo knocking out Saunders. I mean, I don't know. I might be wrong. He might knock out Saunders, but both fighters need to prove themselves. They have a lot to prove at 168. They're both still unproven. Saunders, like I said, Saunders' best win is against David Lemieux, and everybody knows as long as you box Lemieux, you're gonna get the W. He beat Andy Lee for the title. That was a very great victory. As many of you may not know, Andy Lee was he was a great fighter at 160 in his time before he got defeated by Saunders. Um, I would have loved to see Saunders fight Boo Boo because then that would have made me. That would have been a good test for both, and to see an elite versus another elite, and who would have won that night. Honestly, if Saunders would have fought Boo Boo the first time around, um, for me, that winner of that fight would have for me been number one at 160 at the time. Uh, yeah, that's the plan. Charlo, Canelo 160 or Andre Canelo 160 or 168. It'll be fine with me. But Canelo has something to prove against Saunders. Just beating a southpaw. Um, this is a fight. This fight does intrigue me in some ways. Like I said, I want Andre, but I want to see. I want to see how Canelo does with Billy Joe Saunders, and we're gonna get another hectic crowd. You're gonna get Viva Mexico, El Orgullo de Guadalajara, Jalisco, Canelo versus, Britain's own or Great Britain or England's own, Billy Joe Saunders. So UK versus Mexico, beautiful for the sport. You're gonna bring two passionate countries in one night. A lot of I'm praying for a double knockout. Why would you pray for a double knockout, Jessica? Canelo is only fighting the best. You know what I mean? Canelo is doing what he's supposed to do at this moment. You know what I mean? You and other people that are commenting might have different opinions, but if you would have asked me 2 years ago what I think about Canelo's resume, I would have said it's trash. You know what I mean? He was fighting people out of the not the very best version. So now Canelo, I used to criticize Canelo for dragging people to move up to his weight. So of course it wasn't the best Kovalev, but he moved up to Kovalev's natural weight and he beat him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's a stigma towards it, but he moved up. You know what I mean? So I can't blame him for that. He fought Jacobs, still a great fight at 160. And, maybe Jacobs was having a hard time making 160, but he fought Jacobs. You know what I mean? Jacobs, since his, since him defeating cancer, he's had a good run. I thought he beat Triple G. I thought, he beat Derbychenko. I thought, him and Canelo, it was a closer fight than what the card said himself, but, it is what it is. But yeah, this fight for Canelo, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. This is a very credible opponent. If you look at all the names at 168, realistically, Callum Smith wasn't. Realistically, there wasn't really many options. He wasn't gonna fight Andre this time around. Callum Smith, a lot of people are not familiar with him. He's still green in terms of mainstream boxing. Not a lot of people even know who Callum Smith is. I think a lot of fans know his brother than Callum Smith, and I keep forgetting his brother's name. I've been forgetting his name for like 2 days. I'm gonna, yeah. But yeah, his brother fought Canelo, I think it was like 2016 in the AT&T Stadium or the Texas. Yeah, that, Teddy said about Canelo BGS. Teddy said that Billy Joe Saunders got the fight. So basically, Teddy has no problem with the fight. He said that Billy Joe Saunders got the fight due to Liam Beefy Smith. Thank you. He said basically to connections, and that because they're on the same platform on the zone, and Teddy thinks that Billy Joe is a credible name for Canelo. He says that overall, Billy Joe's a really good fighter, and there's nothing really wrong. There's not a lot of things that Billy Joe Saunders do wrong. So basically, he's saying that Billy Joe Saunders is a good fighter and a good enough name to put in Canelo's resume. Nothing special about Saunders, but a good enough name for Canelo to fight for his next fight, right? And I think he did say that he likes to fight. And, that's the best fight that could happen, 168. What else did he say? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, but that's all he said. That's all he really said. But I agree with every pinpoint he said. we all agree that, like I said, we all agree that Saunders didn't look his best at the last fight. But Saunders has been talking this shit for some time now, accusing Canelo. Um, like I said, I don't know. Saunders got to take this shit serious because he's been talking a lot of smack. Um, the accusations and whatnot. Like, so there's a lot of history going on, and a lot of people have been following this tensions between Canelo and Billy Joe. So, like I said, it's gonna be a great week boxing May 2nd. I'm definitely down for it. Yeah, it probably is fighting the fight because Canelo understands that he's getting criticized for an action. In reality, right? He won a WBA regular belt. Now, do I consider the WBA regular title a legit validation to a world champion? Not really, because the real WBA champion at right now is Callum Smith, right? And I think that Canelo understands that you're not gonna fool people. I mean, if you really follow boxing, you're not gonna fool people with um we're not you're not gonna fool the boxing public that you really became a 3 division world champion. Oh, at the time we beat Rocky Smith with 54, yeah, a 2 division world champion, right? So you're not gonna fool people. So if he beats Saunders, he gets the sanctioning body of the WBO. Then people can't say, oh, he didn't win a real world champion. He didn't earn a world title, a real world title. So if he beats Saunders, he's gonna win the WBO title, and he's gonna be considered. That's gonna be counted as, okay. Yeah, Canelo won. What is it? WBC, WBA, Super Welter. In middleweight, he won. What is it? WBC, WBA, IBF, and then WBO light heavyweight belt strap. So I can't come out. Yeah, same as Tank. I'll be honest. Same. No, actually, with Tank. Well, for 130, when he first won that title, they elevated it to a full WBA title. At 35 is regular. Correct. You are correct. LDTB. This is a good fight for Canelo because we haven't seen fighters. That's what I was just saying at the beginning of my video. I said that this is also a fight where he's going to prove more critics about how he's going to deal with a southpaw since his July 2014 fight against Lara. Like I said, I thought Lara beat him. I thought that if you fight Canelo at a southpaw position and you find your range and you're very elusive and you box Canelo and don't give Canelo his rhythm in terms of ripping the body and mixing combinations, Canelo struggles. But like I said, we're talking about a Canelo from 2014 where he was still green, he was still raw, he was still developing. This is the best version of Canelo. I want to see what he does against Saunders. Like I said, you guys don't believe me, but Canelo's a smart man. He's going to use Saunders to prepare himself to eventually fight Demetrius Andre. I'm telling you this right now. He's going to prepare himself to fight a Demetrius Andre sometime 2020, 2021. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell this boober right now on live, and I'm going to text him. No, actually I'm lying. Do not look bad in January 30th because I want you to gain the new fans from the exposure and clout from Jake Paul and Anson the Gibber. So actually, look very fantastic in Miami. Your next fight, because you're not getting Canelo, look horrible and let Canelo, based on your horrible performance, Canelo will fight you. I'll tell you that much. I'm going to tell you that much. And you're going to thank me, boo-boo. You're going to be like, damn, bro, you was right. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I need a check, but I'm not like that, so it's all right. But anyways, facts, I agree, facts. Yeah, you know what I mean? Lara beat Canelo. Austin Trout gave Canelo nightmares. Floyd was not fight. He's not a southpaw, but Floyd is Floyd. So Floyd is Floyd. But like I said, and like I was telling people, when he fought Jacobs switched southpaw. Jacobs was successful in southpaw on his offensive perspective. Tell Boo Boo to pull up to Canelo fight and call his. I mean, if Boo Boo's that type of dude, I know him. He would do it, but the investors, promoters, and Golden Boy won't let that happen, man. They don't want that, because remember, the last time somebody ran up on Canelo, the fight happened, and that was Arizona Lara after the post press conference when Canelo defeated Alfredo Angulo. It happened, but Golden Boy's gonna avoid everything he can to not let that fight happen, and that's a fact. And that's a fact. But guys, let me know. Like right below your predictions, who you guys got winning? Canelo, Saunders, who you guys winning? It's a knockout, TKO, decision. You know, do you guys give Canelo full credit for this victory? What do you guys think? Like, come on. I'll give you 5 minutes before I log off. What do you guys think? And I do want to reveal something. Big Baby will be, I don't want to say will be because that's me talking shit up front. It's an 85% chance Big Baby Miller will be on the February 2nd 22 card. A lot of people are spreading it, but I could almost confirm you who he's going to fight. But I don't want to say that either because then people will take my credit. But I know who he's going to fight. He is not a top-ranked fighter. He is on ESPN with another promoter. He fought a current world champion previously. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to make a video doing that. But yeah, guys, let me know. Canelo Saunders, who wins? If you guys don't like that fight personally, who you thought realistically, I'm saying realistically, not some dreamish, realistically of all the options that were available for Canelo, who do you think Canelo would, could have fought that would excite the fans? For me, the only fighters that have a chance to beat Canelo, in my opinion, is Andre Benavidez. You don't sleep on my man, Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant is a beast. Caleb Plant's a beast. For sure though. But yeah, guys, thank you again. Fight night. We're on fight night. Munguia, Sullivan. You got, what's his name? Joe Smith and Jesse Hart. Atlantic City. The other one's in Texas. Great night of boxing. Let's enjoy it. And like I said, guys, take care. And I'm going to do another video in a couple hours. I want to reach out to Boo Boo. I hope he answers me, but we'll see what happens. Peace out, guys.